Okay. Hey, So I'm sucking on a mint right now as I'm recording this. So sorry if my mouth is moving oddly as I'm reading through this, but let's get into week 4 of the Artist's Way. We are making tiny, small changes and progressing forward in a better light. This week was talking about recovering a sense of integrity. And there was just this whole big section of Julia talking about honesty and honest changes and how to realize and uncover who you are slowly and realizing that as you continue on with the Artist's Way. I've been really this week tapping into more of my actual creative work and generating stuff because it feels very good to create again. And I say that because in my morning pages, I did every single morning this week, which I'm proud of, and I generated some poems through them and ideated some poems. And I finally wrote again after not writing for more than a year. So that felt very powerful. And now I'm also taking the steps towards more of what I want to do creatively as well. I'm creating more content that still feels very right to me and very invigorating. And also, I'm trying something new. I am trying and hopefully being sponsored by my work to pursue a screenwriting course, and it's a beginner's screenwriting course that's all virtual. It actually starts this Wednesday. I'm recording this on Sunday, and it goes through April and to the end of May, and it's kind of just a beginner's fundamental class of screenwriting, learning the basics, and then figuring out what you can do with your finished screenplay afterwards. It's through a nonprofit who specializes in filmmaking and just all aspects of it, screenwriting, production, stuff like that. So I'm using my professional development funds because thankfully also we are sponsored by our work to pursue whatever professional development we can as long as it ties back to the work that we're doing. And I found a case for it. I talked to my manager and she was like, so the only thing that you just need to, flesh out is how this is going to affect and help bolster or just improve the work that you're doing now. So I really leaned into like copy editing and, taking feedback and implementing it, and also being creative and working on storytelling and just being innovative too. All of that you can work on while you're writing screenplays or doing screenwriting, and then translating that to other aspects of work and just your further professional development. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick with this. After that first conversation with my manager, she did not put me down or anything like that. It did not feel like that. It was very much me being apprehensive about myself, like pushing forward on this and being like, oh, should I really? Like, it was my blurts and like my creative monster coming out from previous weeks that I talked about holding myself back and really being my own worst enemy when it comes to doing what I want to do and creating what I want to create. So this is the first step in writing that screenplay that I've always wanted to write. Topic pending, but that is exciting to get started on this journey, and hopefully I'm going to send in that request form for the course tomorrow with my manager and see what she says, and hopefully I can use the funds to pay for the course and it'll be a fun time learning. I'm doing that while doing this Artist's Way, and also it's National Poetry Month, and usually there's like this challenge. You've probably heard of it, maybe. It's called hashtag NaPoWriMo, and it's basically an acronym of National Poetry Writing Month, and the challenge is to write a poem every single day. So that's why this week I started ideating stuff in my morning pages and then really worked on the poems later on. And I think I've written a poem every single day. I skipped Friday because I was really tired and I knocked out, but I wrote 2 poems yesterday to make up for that. So that has been very generative and just really nice. And also the tasks were interesting to work on too. I liked them. And the only thing though, I did not do my artist's date this week. I think that is the one thing that I just need to push myself to do more, is to really go out there and experience things. And even if it's just for a little bit, and going back home into my hermit space, and because I really love being at home and I love spending time at home, but it's also a good reminder for me to try to go out. And that has just been the recurring issue every week, is trying to get myself out there and just spend time with myself, because I do spend a lot of time with myself. I really do, but I'm always at home usually, which is fine, and I am totally fine with that. But also, you have to get out every once in a while. And because I work at home, I'm always at home. So those kind of breaks I really need to remind myself to take. And the other biggest thing for this week was reading deprivation. So we were not supposed to read anything. And I feel like I survived, but also I kind of just, like, I felt like I didn't struggle as much as I thought I would struggle, which I think is a good thing. But also, I'm like, man, I could survive without reading. But then I found myself missing it. And the books that I am currently reading and have left unread are sad. So then I kept thinking about that, and I was like, okay, this is kind of hard. I just want to read. And this morning I finally was like, yay, I can read now because we're done with reading deprivation. So yeah, and then I felt like I was, kind of reading stuff on social, or like going on social as much, not as much as I could, but I was watching like YouTube a lot, listening to music. So I felt like I was preoccupied. Maybe that's great because I'm a person who has many hobbies and I can fill my time with other things that are productive and generative. And I mean, I wrote poems and stuff, so I think it's still a win overall. And now I can go back to reading, which is really great and fun. And yeah, so that's that. I think this was a good week overall, and a good step towards the rest of the course, and just working more on my creativity and learning more about myself and trying new things and being courageous and unafraid. So yeah, that's all great. And I really am pushing myself to write a poem every single day this month, because I've tried for the past 2 years and nothing has worked. But I think this course has been really helpful in unlocking more of what my potential is creatively, and yeah, just doing more stuff too with my content creation and working on that through the week while I'm juggling a full-time job and other life stuff. So yeah, many things are always happening, but we are doing our best. So yeah, that was week 4 of The Artist's Way. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next week.